I'm great. How are you?
Good to see you again.
As well, you too. So tell me what you guys are working on behind the scenes.
I guess David is here. Can you hear me, David?
Yeah, here we are. Yeah.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We hear you.
Okay, great. So yes, we have a lot of things. Over the last few weeks, we have been heavily working on building this interaction architecture. So for the next step. So yes, go next slide, please. We can go directly. Yes, one of the main things that we have been working on, as you know, we have been working in parallel things because we want to grow Interaction to really, at the end, integrate with iCarth, but also, of course, developing something that is meaningful and, of course, is bio-inspired and is really the next wave of AI. And the thing that we are doing is in parallel building the different things. One of them is developing the research edition of the game of life. If you remember, we developed the Interaction paper. With the Interaction paper, we already built some demos. We built also this game of life, different versions of it. And this new year and the last weeks of the last one, we have been working on expanding these capabilities, the capabilities of Interaction Live. In this case, the version 2.1. And one of the things that we are expanding is we want to have more data. We want to expand a lot the capability to capture data and understand it and grow with it. And what we have done is, instead of just storing like really a snapshot of plenty of games, what they did in the last big data set, if you remember, we created 1 million Neuraxoners with almost 10,000 games at the end of the last year, also as a big starting data set to work with. But we see that we need to go deeper into what exactly the Interaction is doing in his daily life, in double quotes. And for that, we have created this new upgrade of the research version, still not due demo yet, for recording this time series. Time series is what happened in between the time steps of each second. So you can think of that. It's really smaller. And capture everything that we can regarding that. And that new version is regarding to that. We also with this new version of the research code that is of course available on Open Science in GitHub, we also release another data set that is more or less it's a bit smaller, but smaller in the number of interactions, of course, but is deeper in the sense that we have a lot of data for each of them. And we keep improving it. Yes, this morning we have also released a new code, not yet a new demo for that, but yes, a new code, and we keep increasing that thing. As you can see here in the graph, maybe, I don't know if you, Jose, want to get in and let the people know a bit about what is there.
Yeah. Yes, we are watching in the graph. You see the colors, the red color, gray color, and green color. We may see the degree in which some of the trinary possible states are currently going in that Interaction model. So you may see, for instance, that the inhibition, which is in red, or the excitation, which is in green, and in gray, we can see the neutral state, the third trinary state, which is one of the main issues and key features of Interaction. And as we are analyzing each Interaction fitness, we are finding good results relating to this trinary state, in which the model is quite new and quite different from all binary and old models. So this is one example of one Interaction, which is called AC. And you may see almost 0.3004 fitness, and we are analyzing this sort of data and trying to gather which kind of architectures and which kind of parameters suit best in the model. And this is what we are updating almost on a daily basis.
Yeah, one quick more thing. If you see here this Interaxoner, the AC Interaxoner, this has been living for 75 rounds. That means that in the previous big data set, the 1 million data set that we created, what we do is create 10,000 games, but each of them basically was just a one-run game, basically a lot of Interaxoners in a game, a very crowded game in each of them. So we capture a lot of them, but they don't live more than one round. If you remember, when we create the demo, you can play with the demo, of course, the light version too. And if you end one of the rounds, you can restart with the best ones that came from the previous round. And in this new data set, and for exploring more the life itself, what we are doing is, instead of recording instances of new sessions every time, we are recording long sessions. Sessions meaning that once one session ends because all the new axons die, we restart with the champions, but also with with the champions. And for that, we keep doing rounds. And in this case, this Neuraxoner, this AC that you see here, has lived for 75 rounds of all the ones that. But in this case, for example, the best round that he had was in the round 29 instead of the last one. But he keep improving in that. He keep going to the next round because for some reason he maybe was good to take food or for other reasons. So, and that's interesting because we want to see how they develop through life. One of the things that we are changing at the moment is also and it's going to be released probably today or tomorrow in the code, is that we are of course changing the name of the Neuraxoners, because if you run like a lot of rounds in the same session, we don't want to have the names to be repeated. So it's easier for searching it, and that's one of the things that we are changing at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Maybe next slide, please. Yeah. Also, as we know that some of the concepts might be quite intricate and sometimes complex to understand for the community or for the people who are recently new in Qubic, we are developing a sort of Neuraxon AI Academy platform. And there, in this kind of academy, our main core is to explain this intricate working that we are doing with the Qubic Neuraxon model. So we want to make this complex subject. We want to make it accessible and even engaging for the people. So we are building first some articles, some very direct and precise and simple articles. And also along the articles, we are building some interactive demos and simulations. And these kind of simulations may allow to all people in the community, to all the users, to somehow visualize or visually explore and manipulate some of the parameters of the model in real time, but not all all at the same time as in the previous model. Just precisely time by time or frame by frame or feature by feature. So this is a new initiative, and in a way involves that we are trying to deconstruct this Neuraxon network through some interactive experiences. So we will include some hands-on simulations and some web-based tools or some sort of games. So the design for this kind of games and applications to provide a practical understanding of the model. As you may see in the left side of the slide, yesterday we have just delivered the first volume, which is related to why and how Neuraxon uses the concept of time in order to understand why and how intelligence, biological intelligence, and of course artificial intelligence is not computed in discrete steps as in the LLM's models, but in real time. So this is one of the key features of maybe the first one key feature of Neuraxon, and we are going to explain it there and provide some sort of hands-on simulations, as I said before. And also we want to keep on writing some scientific blog posts, as we have done in summer and autumn. But we think that maybe it's more interesting to relate some of these posts to new papers in the AI space, and in that sense to make it more understandable also what the competence is doing and what we want to achieve, and even some of the outcomes that the papers are exposing in that sense, and how it relates to the Qubic community and to the Neuraxon model. For instance, the paper you may see, benchmarking world model learning. No, so does an LLM has some sort of world model inside? We believe no. So in that papers they are explaining that from a scientific point of view, and we want to connect this kind of paper with what we are doing in Neuraxon and in Qubic. So these updates, the Neuraxon Intelligence Academy and this blog post, the scientific blog post, every 2 weeks, all the community will have one piece of these papers and solutions. And also, as David explained, we are updating Neuraxon almost every day, and there will be more GitHub Game of Life updates. We are almost finishing a possible paper to send to some conferences and venues at the end of June, at the end of January. And we are also thinking about new environments for the Neuraxon dataset and Game of Life to go ahead. And this is our goal for the January month. And in February we will have much more applications, even some physical applications. So we are on our way to keep on pushing this model and to discovering new things and working hard. Maybe something to add, David?
No, I think it's really good. We want to also to work heavily on how and see how Qubic can be integrated, because at the end we are developing this with the Qubic mind in mind, because we want of course to use all the computing power that we can in Qubic, and for that the integration, when we have these candidate models that really can leverage the Qubic compute, is one of the things that we want to build, and that's why it's fundamental to work in this. Because we are also working with heavy CPUs at the moment and GPUs to work with that. But when we have these models ready for prime time, or at least to be able to grow much more in this bigger network, that will be a defining moment also, that we of course over maybe to the second trimester or so, we will be one good point to work with that. So yes, stay tuned. We are updating the GitHub basically daily or every couple of days. So there is a lot of stuff there regarding the development itself of the research platform. And of course, we will also develop in these new demos and everything that Jose had said to keep you posted and see what is happening on. That's all from me. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for the incredible update. And I look forward to seeing what the future holds for Neuraction. I know it's evolving really quickly in front of our eyes, so it's an exciting place to be at the moment. And I'm so happy to be working alongside you guys. So hopefully we can plan some awesome marketing and PR pushes in this coming quarter to get Neuraction some of the attention that it deserves. Okay, awesome. So we're moving on, yes, to the tech team. Jodam, do you want to join me out at the page? Are you there?
So now you can hear me, right?
I hear you perfectly.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I also want to say Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year.
And yeah, just start over.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, today we have a short update on the current core planning. We have some small project updates for Oracle machines, execution fees, and some integration software on client side. I'm going to start with the core planning, which is we have like a more or less detailed planning for 3-4 months ahead. So you can see here from January, February, and March 26. So you will be updated regularly on this community all hands about what we're going to do, on which projects we're going to work, and what is the current progress on it. And if something is changed, you got a specific notification, like you see it here on the Oracle machines. This is the first lane, which stated is updated. We started in December with the mock testing. So we collected feedback, no, not feedback. We let it run. We did testings, and we tried what the code does in a mock environment. The mock environment is like, you can imagine this is like a specific environment where we can test the code without impacting the main net or a test network. And based on the testing, we found out some stuff we have to optimize, we have to fix, and therefore the mainnet launch, which was planned for the 14th of January, has shifted 1 week to the 21st of January. We have some pressure. It's all working still, but we have shifted it 1 week. To make it more clear, there are other milestones for the Oracle machines. I will explain them on a bit later. For the other active project, which is the execution phase, is everything fine. The planned start for 14th of January is still on the plan, still ready. So we are ready to go live. The same applies to the new algorithm, which is basically for the AI miners, which will change on the 21st of January. This is still the same, and we are also happy that the Bob and Light Node project version 1 is still as planned, and we will formally close the V1 phase on the 14th of January. The Dogecoin project is, so we have here in the middle of January, so basically in the next few days, weeks, we're going to kick off with the design phase, with the architecture phase, where we're going to plan everything ahead, and it will, after the planning, it will also appear on the core planning roadmap. That's what we're currently working on. There are some minor, let's say, updates or features which are not on this because they are not on this roadmap because they are not specifically a specific project. So they are just running during normal maintenance tasks and so on and so forth. Going on detail for the Oracle machines, we have completed since the last update the protocol review. Means that the Qubic protocol lead went over our implementations, and we got an approval, which means that everything is ready to go live. We completed the mock testing as already stated, and the next steps are now the testnet testing, which are currently running. We will have the mainnet base launch. A base launch means that on the 21st of January, when we start with the Oracle machines in the mainnet, you as a user can query basic information. It's like we will provide let's say a null Oracle where you can just test the whole pipeline. Basically, you say, okay, give me an answer, Oracle, and it will hopefully give you back the answer. That's how we test everything in the mainnet. A little bit later, we will add the revenue calculation because the computers are obligated to run the Oracle machines, and their revenue is will be on how the form. Revenue calculation, it's not yet, it will not be already applied to the real revenue, but we will see how it will change the computer's revenue. It's like a testing phase of revenue calculation. And then the last step is we go live with so-called subscriptions. This is especially important for the smart contracts. So they can say, I want to have the, let's say, for example, I want to have regularly updates on the price of Bitcoin. So you can add a subscription and you will get regularly updates of the Bitcoin price. And with going live with the mainnet subscriptions, we can say that the Oracle machine, or let's say the Oracle project from the core side has finished. And I go one slide back. If we look at the timeline, we have the Oracle subscriptions live in the 4th of February, so in like less than a month. And we will also enable the revenue activation on the 11th of February, more or less 1 month from now, where we, from a core side, from the core tech perspective, say, okay, the project has closed, we are live. And then, of course, the computers, the ecosystem builders can start using everything. That's about Oracle machine updates. On the execution fee updates, this was already deployed to the mainnet in December. We didn't have any issue, so it's running smooth. For everybody interested, there is this website, contracts.qubic.tools, where you can see the current execution fees. What do the contracts burn actually? What is deducted from the reserve? And based on these numbers, the computers are going to adjust their execution fee multiplier, which will lead to more or less burn on the
seeing that the new listing decision board is working good, we are creating a new decision board, but this time the profiles are expected to be different. So we want a mixed skill set, and we think that with this new approach, which is more or less similar to the first one, we will succeed. Because one problem that we faced with the community decision procedure is that we gain more engagement. That's true, but on the other side, the decisions did not reflect the interest of the community, and there were no clear strategy, because voters were different every time we submit a different voting process. If you move to the next one, please. I just want to highlight on this that yesterday we start with recruiting, let's say, of the incubation board members. I'll encourage all the community members to join the channel and share feedback, because there are certain things that we want to address, like not only what members can join, but also what skill set is required, what are the conditions, for instance, whether they need to be doxed, whether an NDA is required, whether there is or not conflict of interest, and how to manage it. So there are certain things that we want to discuss with the community and try to find a common agreement to narrow down the profiles that we need. There's a form that where you can choose your candidates, or type the candidate that you want if it's not on the list. Actually, the list was quite randomly generated by me. So yeah, please join and share feedback. Said that, this is the way that we are going to operate until, during January. Beginning February, we do expect to have everything ready. So all the decisions will be held by the decision board. So the only requirement for incubation to keep operating is basically someone who operates it, so a project manager, who can be any community member, whether it is me or someone else. So I want to highlight on this because it is important to especially for all developers that are part or can be part of the program. I want to highlight that whether the proposals that we submit to CCF for voting, it does not affect the funds. So incubation funds are still there, and the program still continues, whether it is with one operating model or another. We expect that by end of January, we'll have the final one. So the decision board will be there, I expect, for a long time. So there is nothing to fear about. I just want to make this super clear, because our on how we create the governance, how we manage the governance model of this. Now let's go to the projects update, because there are a few changes also derived from this situation. If you can move to the next slide, please. Yeah, fantastic. I'm just going to update you on the most relevant ones, because there are a few changes. On the Solana bridge, the first milestone, quality assurance, has already started. Milestone 1 is refers to the documentation. I already did my part. Now Cortec is also stepping in. I expect, but the delivery date is not yet clear to me, but I expect that within one week and a half, we have a final decision to move forward. Regarding bottom bridge, there's a delay because first we need Cortec to review milestone 2 and 3. Basically, is reviewing the Qubic smart contract. This does not mean to audit the smart contract per se. This means to review the smart contract to see whether it is aligned with Cortec and Computer's standards. Because if you remember, we faced an issue a couple of months ago where Bottom tried to submit the smart contract for IPO, but Computers were not satisfied with the current design, not the quality per se, but the current design. So they need to execute a change request. After the quality assurance is performed, and we are sure that the current design is good to go, we'll move to the audit phase, which will be performed by a third-party company, and this usually takes a couple of weeks, more or less. So everything's okay on this part. Also, in parallel, the decision board, not the incubation, but the listing in the absence of the incubation board, is addressing the agreement between Qubic and Bottom for the operations of the bridge. I still cannot disclose anything, but I am aware that conversations are ongoing, so we'll find a solution for that. Regarding OTC escrow, yesterday developers said that they will deliver everything in one shot in a week, more or less, so by January 15th. So by January 15th, we'll start the quality assurance. Regarding QBuild, Monday, we had a meeting, a demo where the team showcased all the features of the platform, and it was decided jointly with Cortec and other renowned developers of the community that the milestone 2 is approved. So the current deliverables satisfied what was stated in milestone 2, but we decided to put on hold further developments until whether milestone 3 is approved or needs more changes. So we are still awaiting for feedback. I know that Jotam is working on that. So we'll soon, maybe by the end of this week, maybe by the end of next week, we'll have a final conclusion. The next one is QSwap. The front end is on track. They are developing a milestone 2 with a slight delay caused by the confusion of the operating model of incubation program, but that's not a big deal. The developer team is working on that. They already resumed the work. So yeah, that's fine. And finally, Nostromo, we had to reopen the project because the situation is that we consider finalize the project because first the smart contract was deployed and also the integration was executed. So the Nostromo team was able to integrate their front and middleware with a smart contract. But there was after that integration, when we have considered that everything was fine and ready to go, they discovered a bug that we are still pending for them to send feedback to us because we don't know what's going on, honestly. I've been trying to reach out to them several times, but no feedback since the 30th of December. Maybe they are still on vacations because you know that Christmas and during these days, it's a little complicated to reach some resources. So yeah, let's wait a few days and we'll see how to continue with this. As of now, the current payment is completely frozen, of course, and we won't proceed with the payment until we have clear evidence that the Nostromo platform is up and running as expected. And yeah, that's everything on my side. So back to you, Defi. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Great updates. Thank you. And nice to have you around. This is Mr. Rose, everybody. There were some people asking in the chat. So, okay, moving on to the marketing updates. And I will take the lead on that. Just a second. So So what do we have going on in marketing? I wanted to go over the term because the last time we chatted, we only had about a week of data. So I wanted to look at from December 1st through January 5th, 6th, 7th, depending on when I was able to pull the reports. So organically, we were able to gain 637 new opt-ins via Opt-in Monk. That is a behavioral-based opt-in that we have active on all of our main pages, but soon it will be active on every single blog article that is published, triggered by a keyword. We were able to get 853,900 total organic impressions across X and LinkedIn. We had 52,000 unique website visitors, which is a pretty incredible number from December 1st through January 7th. And then in the paid realm of things, we had 7.2, nearly 5 million paid X ad impressions. So I just want to take a moment because a lot of the work that's done in marketing is done behind the scenes, and sometimes it's not sexy. And we don't really see the fruits of our labor immediately. And so I'm in the process of interviewing a lot of PR and press organizations to hopefully partner up with them to help us get the word out for Doge mining, for Neuraction, and some other initiatives that we are working on at Qubic to spread the word beyond our current community, to be spoken about in other places, to be known as an AI organization. So, I'm getting a lot of feedback. I've had a bunch of interviews with different individuals, with different organizations. And, I had an interview the other day with somebody. They run a newsletter company. And I asked about what was the price. And they said, well, roughly an estimated price to obtain around 700,000 impressions was $31,500. So, I feel like this is a win for us because with $3,511 in ad spend, we actually were able to earn 8.15 million organic and paid impressions. So what does this show us? It showed us that we have sustained daily visibility. We don't have one-off spikes, that we're building something that can, has proven to be successful and more successful over time. Why does this matter? So here's just a graph of the active users and views that we had on our website. We are working on SEO. That is something that I am trying to build out into the plan, but we are currently working on it as it is. And our website traffic is going up. So this is good news. We're gaining traction. Engagement and content execution. What are we focusing on? Our focus is high volume execution with strong engagement. So, interactions, replies, likes, reposts, discussions, they matter on X. And we had 45,000 plus interactions on X and LinkedIn alone. In December, 39,000 interactions. In the first 5 days of January, 6,600. So what worked is the top performing content themes across the board were Neuraction scientific breakthroughs, AI and mining education, epoch profitability reports, live streams, AMAs, and ecosystem milestones. So the January momentum, which is exciting, is that we are up 29% in impressions, we are up 56% in likes, and we are up 78% in reposts. What this signals to me is that the market is responding to real science, real data, and real utility, not hype. And here is our ads performance. I had mentioned that we had spent $3,500 in just, I think this is from December 1st to January 5th, and we got 7.25 roughly million impressions. Here's another, we're using at the moment Metricool. We are scheduling our content out through Metricool because it allows us to see what times of the day are best to post on what platforms, and it is specific to our account and our community. So we want to obviously post at the best times. You can see that the numbers, the impressions are up across the board, which is great news. So since our last all hands, what have we been doing behind the scenes? That was on December 18th. The Mining Academy went live. I know a lot of you have noticed we added text to speech on all of our blogs. We've continued the Qubic.org automation updates and optimization of the website, of the pages, of the opt-ins. We started implementing SEO and keyword optimization. We are keeping a pulse on that daily and making the changes required to get more organic visibility to our site. We continue to optimize the behavioral-based opt-ins. That is an ongoing task. We have organized, marketed the AMAs. That is part of now, that is being taken over by the marketing completely, also moderating the AMAs. We relaunched the Qubic Engage bot with 12 days of giveaways. We did post-marketing support for the Hack the Future hackathon. We created a future-looking content calendar, which we are now planning and using to organize our content schedule. We have scheduled all approved social content into Metricool so that we are constantly tracking the data and making the necessary changes to get better impact and engagement from our organic social posts. We hired a new design team. I'm in the process of interviewing PR companies to schedule out press releases and get us published for Doge mining and Neuraction as some of the initiatives. There will be more to follow. We have white paper sections 1 through 5 done and waiting internal feedback. We have a new homepage redesign. It's done. It's in the queue. I am hoping, God willing, we can go live tomorrow. What else do we have here? We helped design and deploy a new event page for Crypto XR, the event that is happening, I believe, next week in France. And we brought on a second developer to help assist us in our tasks. Now, looking forward, our new website homepage, as I mentioned, is going live again, hopefully tomorrow. We are going to update all social banners for this new look to match the homepage. We will be adding text to speech to all of our Academy modules. I know I'm getting a lot of feedback from those that have seen it on the blog that they really like this feature and they'd rather listen to the blog. So it will be added to all the Academy modules as well. We are continuing the SEO keyword optimization changes to the website. We're breaking off those changes little by little. We're dividing and conquering each day so that we can increase our SEO organically and also our backlinks, which is really important. We want to start ranking for more keywords that are specific to our niche. Organizing, marketing, moderating consistent bi-monthly AMAs for the all hands and also the proposal AMAs when there are active proposals. We are supporting the Crypto XR event that is happening in mid-January in France, creating new ad campaigns and updating initiatives regularly as needed, proposing a final PR company to work hand in hand with, if approved, to amplify the reach and visibility of Neuraction and Doge mining initially, completing the delivery of an entire new white paper skeleton for the team to review before publishing. We are working on building out Google Looker Studio. It's a great deal of work, but it will be a full analytics tracking all in one centralized place. And we are currently interviewing to hire a new video creator. So we have a lot that's going on behind the scenes at the moment in marketing as well. Like I said, some of which is unsexy, but necessary to create a solid foundation moving forward. So with that being said, we will open this up to your questions. Now, I did get some questions in advance. And we're going to alternate. The team will take some of these questions and we'll hopefully get them answered for you. So the first question is, I don't know, Jodam, if you want to take this question. Is there any update on Banksa? Got to add you to the stage.
Thank you very much. There is the update that they reported that they have an issue on their side, so they are working on fixing it. So we are waiting actually for their feedback on when the Banksa tech guys did fix it. So it's not on our side. We are just waiting for the feedback right now.
Okay. And while you're here, somebody had asked, what is the plan to get miners coming from Doge mining through Qubic?
Yeah, that's actually part of the planning. So as I mentioned before, we're going to start or kick off the project in the next few days until end of January. So when we have the plan, we can include this into the planning and then hopefully answer there. We have, or let's say I got already some requests from community members who wants to, let's say like they want to join a brainstorming on how, for example, how could be the economic model of Doge mining, which also includes how can we bring miners to Qubic from their side. So these community members will most probably form a think tank, a brainstorming tank, something like this. I don't know how to name it. And then hopefully they will find cool solutions, cool, I don't know, marketing tricks, even for you could be interesting. And the output will be taken into consideration for the plan. So that's, I think, a cool thing to also include the community voices into the project.
Yeah, that's interesting. Actually, this morning at around 4 a.m., I was having a thought of how could we tap into the community or the ambassadors. There's still a lot of ambassadors that would like to stay involved with Qubic in this period of maybe transition where we're working on reworking what the ambassador program might look like going forward. And I thought it would be great for us to have coordinated efforts where everyone had a role or responsibility and we're all behind the visibility and engagement of one initiative. Because if we don't have any coordination and we're all running in different directions, you know, we're not getting the best impact from all of the work that we're putting out. We're still expending the same amount of energy. But if we were coordinated and everyone had a role or responsibility in a, let's say, a 5-day sprint type of campaign, and each person knew exactly what they were contributing and doing as part of that responsibility, I think that we could make a lot more waves that way. And that's a conversation that I started this morning behind the scenes. So it's interesting that we're kind of thinking on the same wavelength, even though we did not talk about this yet. So yes, in as well as that question, they had asked, will you be advertising on some websites? So, you know, part of what I am doing is hoping that we can link up and get some great publicity and press around Doge mining, around Neuraction, and around upcoming initiatives. We are looking for someone to partner with, not just, you know, a one-off thing, but ultimately get behind a lot of the things that we are planning on doing here at Qubic. And I think that would help another element because it would add a layer of credibility, visibility that we may, not to say that we are lacking, but it will put us in front of a different people don't have access to now, that we don't have access to necessarily through our X advertising, you know, in AI outlets, in different spaces and different conversations. And that will help us truly burst out of our current sphere. And I think that's really important. So yes, that is something that I am currently working on diligently. Let's see. I hope you managed to get some rest. Although I see the work didn't stop for many of you. What are your thoughts on the year ahead? Well, I think maybe that our glimpse today gave you a little bit of an indication of what this year could look like for us. But is there anything else that you would like to add to that, Jodam?
Well, it's really hard for me. 26 is again a year. I mean, I actually would say the same for every year ahead, but for us, from a tech perspective, in 2025, we almost completed the most important pillars of Qubic. Mm-hmm. So we say we have these three main pillars, which is the node operation, like the the network itself, we have outsourced compute, and we have Oracle machines. So from these three main pillars, we are finishing the two and starting now with outsourced compute, the last one. So having ahead to finish this vision we have since 2-3 years to finish these three main pillars of Qubic gives me a deep excitement to know, okay, this year we're gonna finish the vision of what we have planned, how Qubic should look like. I'll give you one example. Qubic is one, if not really the one, but one of the only projects which has regular network stops. So we do regular updates every week. Most of that we do not always have seamless transition on epoch change. Of course, if you look around, we are one of the only projects doing this. And this is something when we have the three pillars finished, we can stop doing this. So we can start to act more like the traditional networks without any break during epoch operations. And yeah, that's one of the highest excitements I have this year.
I can understand why. So I will be able to reach you on Wednesdays moving forward, is what you're saying. Yeah. So this is great. Something that I hear in all of this is that, good work really takes time. I know everybody is eager, excited, and in some cases impatient, and they want everything now. And I think that's the culture that we currently live in. But the reality is, it is so important to have a solid foundation and infrastructure built to be able to achieve the success that we are after. And it couldn't truly be any other way. So when people just go out there and rush, they make a lot of mistakes, and mistakes that can cost them everything. And so when the time and the effort and the work is gone into something with true care and intention, that is an indication of what the future holds for Qubic, in my opinion. So, we operate with that same mentality in the marketing, where a lot of the work is put in behind the scenes, and it is not sexy on the day-to-day. The advertisements are what you see. There's so much that happens prior to getting to that point, and so much that happens after that, to be honest with you. It's followed by systems and structures. That is how you capitalize on it. So, sometimes it looks like nothing is happening, but I can assure you there is so much happening in every department here at Qubic. So a couple more questions and then we'll wrap this up. So why not operate as our own exchange from the Qubic site? Transfer USDT and let a team decide the best exchange to purchase it from at that time.
Do you give this question to me?
I mean, I'll try to answer it if you want. But...
I mean, yeah. Actually, everybody could start this. The thing that I think the most complicated part is the legal stuff. So creating an exchange, you need to have basically a license or operate in a country where it doesn't matter. And you said it really nice before. So we want to have a solid base, and we do not from Qubic side, we do not want to engage in such operations, I think.
So legal scrutiny is a big thing. And I think it's across the board. Let's let exchanges do what they do and partner with them to, be able to amplify the purchasing power of Qubic. So when Doge mining starts, since it's ASICs, what happens to XMR mining? Will it stop? And what happens to CPU, GPU mining? Will we mine Qubic 24/7?
Everything right, what you said. We will have a transition phase where we go from XMR to Doge. So in a short period of time, both will run. and then XAMA will be shut down, and we will focus on those. And it will as I said, the planning is not yet done, but what we have in our heads is that it will most likely be a 24/7 for Qubic mining and also for Doge, and also for potentially other things. So the updates we are doing right now, also on the 21st of January, with the new algorithm update, we introduce the possibility into the core that we can run multiple mining activities, multiple tasks at the same time.
Wow. Okay.
So, and to be honest, what exactly happens to CPU and or GPU, I cannot tell at the moment, but I assume that they will still run on the Qubic side, while on the Doge side, of course, mostly only ASICs will run.
So with this integration, will Qubic potentially be able to pick out the most profitable coins to mine?
That's one of our wishes.
Okay.
No, I mean the technically base we're building is to allow. It may be a big word, but we want to have like a marketplace. So theoretically, anybody can come and say, okay, I wanna have compute power.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think last week somebody asked me, hey, I have. It's a funny question. I have a zip file where I don't remember my password. So could I use the Qubic network to find my password to that zip file?
Oh.
And theoretically, yes, you could do that. So the use of the network could be also for such things. In the concrete case of cracking or hacking zip file passwords, I think it doesn't make sense to run it on Qubic because also on legal perspective. But it shows that the people are coming with ideas, and it's basically the vision to have this.
I love it. Well, there you go, guys. You got it here first, right on the AMA. That's why you have to join us every other week for our all hands. I think I had one more question that I was going to take, and then we'll wrap it up. Are there any concerns about team members who have left and joined a new project using Qubic property in this new project? My answer to this question is I don't know what you mean when you say Qubic property. Second part of this answer to this question is Qubic is leading the way. And when other organizations want to possibly try to replicate or model what we're doing, it is a form of flattery. Now, what we are working on behind the scenes, we are always in the current development motion. So when they have figured out how to model something that we're doing, the likelihood is that we've already moved on to the next thing. And so we are not afraid because we are consistently moving and improving everything that we are doing here at Qubic. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here today. We have almost 2,000 people here live with us, which is quite an awesome accomplishment. This is a great way to kick off 2026. Please be on the lookout for our upcoming AMAs. And as always, thank you so much and have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
That's that. That was bullish. Sorry for the connection issues. There's a big chunk of silence in there. My internet's unreliable sometimes. Sorry about that, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the alpha and that AMA. Some parts were hard to understand, but the last chunk is crazy. The Doge mining and the Oracle machines. Definitely excited for that stuff. It's literally right around the corner. Right around the corner. Mid-January, Oracle machines are about to pop off. And then they're gonna start designing the Doge model approach. All great stuff. All right, peoples. That's it. Just wanted to get the AMA out to more people. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye.